act as if you are a millionaire. The alchemy of mindset, spirit, and abundance. Imagine stepping into a world where every thought you have ignites the spark of your destiny. A world where the life you dream of is not some far-off fantasy, but an unfolding, tangible reality. In this very moment, you hold the key to reshape your future simply by shifting your mindset. In a noisy, chaotic world that often tries to hold you back, the secret to explosive success lies within you. It's time to silence self-doubt and embrace the power of belief. Picture yourself already living a life of wealth and abundance, where opportunities flow effortlessly and every challenge transforms into a stepping stone toward greatness. Harnessing the latest insights in neuroscience alongside ancient wisdom of affirmations, this revolutionary approach taps into the magic of neuroplasticity. It transforms the very fabric of your being, aligning your inner world with the universe's endless possibilities. Now is your moment. Dare to act as if you are already a millionaire and watch how the alchemy of mindset, spirit, and abundance transforms your reality. Your journey to limitless prosperity begins now. Step boldly into the future you were destined to create. Embrace this transformative power and let every heartbeat affirm your unstoppable path to prosperity right now. Section 1. Rewriting your reality. What if every moment of your current life were simply a dress rehearsal for a grandeur yet to be fully realized? Imagine a world where your everyday actions, every thought, every decision, are deliberate brushstrokes painting the masterpiece of your future. This is the alchemy of mindset, spirit, and abundance, a transformation that begins with a single audacious belief. Act as if you are already a millionaire. Let's meet Javier. In the bustling, sun-drenched streets of Barcelona, he was once just another street musician with a violin and a dream. Night after night, Javier performed on busy sidewalks, his soulful tunes mingling with the clamor of the city. But there was something extraordinary about his routine. While most saw a humble busker, Javier saw himself as the headline act of his own unfolding destiny. Every evening, even before the first note was played, he donned a sharply tailored suit and imagined the roar of a stadium full of adoring fans. He crafted world tour posters by hand, symbols of an audacious future that only he could see. Javier's secret wasn't in the music itself, but in the belief behind it. In his mind, he was already a celebrated performer, a global phenomenon. With every stroke of his bow, he rewired his brain. This is where science meets spirituality. Research by Dr. Joe Dispenza on neuroplasticity shows that our brain physically changes with repetitive thought and behavior. By consistently acting as if his dreams were his reality, Javier forged new neural pathways that primed him for success. His life became a canvas of possibility, where the gap between aspiration and achievement slowly dissolved. But this transformation is not solely about brain chemistry. It's also deeply spiritual. Rumi, the 13th century poet and mystic, once wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." Javier's daily ritual was an embodiment of this profound truth. He recognized that his inherent worth was immeasurable. He wasn't limited by the circumstances of his beginning. Instead, he tapped into a universal abundance that transcends material conditions. His inner conviction echoed a timeless wisdom. To manifest your dreams, you must first believe that you already possess them. As Javier's days unfolded, his new mindset began to reshape his reality. Neighbors and passers-by started noticing a magnetic change, not just in his polished appearance, but in the confidence radiating from him. That energy captured the attention of a local talent scout, who, enchanted by Javier's undeniable presence, arranged an audition. Within a year, that same street corner gave way to the bright lights of international concert stages. Javier's journey is a powerful reminder that the most potent magic lies in rewriting your own story through belief, persistence, and a willingness to see yourself in a grander light. Now, let's invite you into this transformative process. Here's a simple yet profound exercise to kickstart your own journey. Write a letter from your future self. In this letter, Describe in vivid detail the wealth, abundance, and fulfillment you have manifested. Imagine the sights, sounds, and emotions of a life already lived in luxury and purpose. As you write, feel the joy of each achievement, the gratitude for every blessing, and the undeniable truth that you are already living your dream, even if the physical evidence has yet to catch up. Take a moment now to consider what your letter would say. Who are you in that radiant future? What steps did you take to manifest such abundance? How did you rewrite the narrative of your life to mirror the richness that you now enjoy? This exercise isn't merely a daydream. It's a powerful reprogramming tool that leverages the brain's capacity to adapt and transform. Every word you write reinforces the neural pathways that support a mindset of success and abundance. Remember, the journey of rewriting your reality begins with a single, courageous act of belief. Javier's story teaches us that it is not the external circumstances that limit us, but the internal narrative we choose to embrace. When you decide to act as if your future is already written in the stars, you unlock the potential to turn dreams into tangible achievements. If Javier's story ignites something deep within you, let it be a spark that fuels your own transformation. Embrace the power of neuroplasticity and ancient wisdom. Wear your inner truth like a tailored suit, even on the busiest street corner. Because your life, too, is not a mere rehearsal. It's the prelude to a symphony of success, abundance, and profound joy. Action step. Write that letter from your future self today. Detail the wealth, the success, and the life of abundance you are ready to claim. Place it somewhere you can read it daily. Let it be your constant reminder that your future is already unfolding in brilliant hues of possibility. Call to action. If Javier's journey speaks to your soul, smash that subscribe button. Your future self is already celebrating the life you're courageously creating, and the path to abundance begins with your very next thought. Section 2. The Scarcity Lie. Why we worship lack. Scarcity is a concept that infiltrates our lives quietly, almost imperceptibly, yet its impact on our beliefs and behaviors is profound. Meet Maria, a resilient single mother in Detroit. Day after day, she juggled 2 jobs to support her children, stretching every dollar and constantly watching the clock, afraid that there would never be enough. Despite her tireless efforts, Maria's inner dialogue echoed a persistent refrain: there's never enough. This wasn't merely about the money in her bank account. It was a deep-seated belief system, a scarcity mindset that painted every opportunity in shades of limitation. For years, Maria internalized the notion that if she couldn't afford the little luxuries, then abundance was forever beyond her reach. However, the turning point came when she decided to question this inherited narrative. One day, rather than saying, "I can't afford rent," she began affirming, "I invest in stability." This subtle yet radical shift in language wasn't about ignoring her financial reality. It was about reframing her mindset. By changing her words, Maria started to alter the energy around her financial decisions. And as if by magic, opportunities began to surface. A long-awaited promotion at work recognized her true value, and she discovered a community housing program offering rent-free options to those who met specific criteria. In place of constant anxiety, a new sense of possibility emerged. Psychological research supports what Maria experienced. The scarcity loop, a term popularized by economist Sendhil Mullainathan, explains how our fixation on what we lack narrows our cognitive bandwidth and impairs our decision-making. When our minds are constantly occupied by thoughts of shortage, we're less likely to spot the opportunities right in front of us. By shifting her focus from deficiency to possibility, Maria began to break free from that cycle. Drawing inspiration from Buddhist philosophy, Maria embraced the middle way, a balanced approach that detaches from the fear of scarcity. Each morning, she started with a simple affirmation: "There is enough for all, and I am enough." This practice helped her gradually let go of the anxiety and replaced it with gratitude for even the smallest blessings. To further solidify this new mindset, she embarked on a 7-day abundance detox. Day 1. Replace "I can't" with "I choose" in every thought and conversation. Day 3. Donate one item you no longer need, symbolically breaking the habit of hoarding. Day 7. Write a gratitude list focused on enoughness, recognizing that what you have is more than sufficient. Each step of the detox reaffirmed the truth that the scarcity she once believed was a lie, a story inherited and perpetuated by a limited perspective. Maria's journey teaches us that by consciously shifting our language and focusing on what we already possess, we invite a new flow of opportunities into our lives. Action step. Revisit the language you use daily. Identify one limiting phrase that reinforces scarcity and transform it into an empowering statement. Embrace the detox challenge and notice how these subtle shifts begin to rewrite your financial narrative. Call to action. Ready to detox from the lie of scarcity? Subscribe for daily reminders and practical tips to break free from limitation. Your breakthrough is one click away. Section 3. The Millionaire's Mind Neurochemistry of Wealth. In the realm of abundance, the mind is the ultimate architect of your reality. Consider the story of Jim Carrey, a man who long before fame embraced him, dared to visualize a future that defied the odds. In his early years, Carrey famously wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered and kept it in his wallet. This was no mere wishful thinking. It was an intentional act of mental conditioning. By treating his future success as if it were already tangible, Carrey set off a cascade of changes that would eventually propel him into stardom. Modern neuroscience explains why such practices are so powerful. Our brains are remarkably adaptable. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity, allows us to rewire ourselves through repetitive thoughts and actions. When you consistently envision your goals and act as though they're already your reality, you are essentially forging new neural pathways that align your behavior with your aspirations. Central to this process is dopamine, the motivation molecule. Research by Dr. Andrew Huberman and other leading neuroscientists reveals that dopamine is released not only when we achieve something, but also in anticipation of success. Every time you visualize that million-dollar check or a life of abundance, your brain releases a burst of dopamine, reinforcing the belief that your future is not only possible but imminent. This anticipation creates a positive feedback loop. Each mental rehearsal primes your brain, making it more attuned to recognize and seize opportunities aligned with your vision. Jim Carrey's practice was more than a hopeful exercise. It was a calculated strategy that reprogrammed his mind to attract the success he believed was destined for him. And this isn't just about material wealth. It's about cultivating a state of mind that is open to receiving abundance in all its forms. Yet, the story of Carrey also bridges into ancient spiritual wisdom. In Hindu tradition, the concept of sankalpa involves setting a heartfelt intention, a cosmic command that aligns your inner self with the universe's flow. When you declare your sankalpa, you send out a vibration that resonates with the universe, drawing your desires toward you. Carrey's act of writing that check was his modern sankalpa, a bold proclamation of what was to come. To integrate this practice into your own life, try the following exercise. Stand before a mirror each morning, look into your own eyes, and affirm, "I am a dopamine magnet for success." Let these words sink in as you close your eyes and visualize the details of your abundant future. Imagine holding $1 million check in your hands. Feel its texture, sense the weight of your future in your grasp, and allow your mind to wander into a landscape filled with limitless possibility. This visualization is not mere fantasy. It is a deliberate rehearsal that triggers a cascade of chemical responses in your brain. Every time you engage in this practice, you are laying down a neural blueprint that makes your envisioned success more attainable. With persistence, these neural pathways become your default mode of operation, influencing your decisions, actions, and the very way you perceive the world. Embracing this millionaire's mindset is especially crucial in our fast-paced, distraction-filled world. It's easy to lose sight of your long-term goals amid the noise of everyday challenges. Yet, by anchoring yourself in a vision of success, you create a mental sanctuary, a space where your dreams are not only nurtured but actively pursued. This state of mind empowers you to navigate obstacles with resilience and to see failures as temporary setbacks rather than definitive endpoints. Action step: every morning, set aside a few minutes for visualization. Affirm, "I am a dopamine magnet for success," and vividly imagine that $1,000,000 check. Allow your brain to rehearse the feeling of triumph and notice how your day begins to reflect this newfound mindset. Call to action: hungry for more mindset hacks that can transform your journey to wealth? Subscribe now and let your brain start thanking you for every positive, abundance-driven thought. Section 4. Divine Currency, Spirituality Meets Finance. In the high-stakes arena of finance, success is often measured by the size of one's bank account. Yet, true fulfillment transcends mere accumulation. David, a seasoned Wall Street trader, found himself in a paradox. Despite his impressive financial gains, he was plagued by a sense of emptiness, a void that no amount of money could fill. His life, dominated by market fluctuations and profit margins, lacked the deeper resonance that comes from aligning wealth with a higher purpose. David's transformation began when he encountered ancient spiritual practices that redefined his understanding of money. Delving into the teachings of Jewish tzedakah and Islamic zakat, he discovered that wealth is not solely for personal gain, but is meant to circulate, uplift, and connect us to our communities. Tzedakah, with its emphasis on charity and equitable distribution, and zakat, one of the core pillars of Islam requiring regular acts of giving, taught David that abundance grows when it is shared. Inspired by these traditions, he committed to donating 10% of his monthly earnings, a practice that soon began to reshape his entire perspective on money. This act of giving was transformative. As David released a portion of his fortune, he experienced a profound shift. The anxiety that had long accompanied his financial success began to wane, replaced by a vibrant sense of fulfillment and connection. David realized that true prosperity isn't hoarding wealth. It's about participating in a dynamic exchange of energy where giving and receiving are in perfect balance. In every donation, he saw the ripple effect of generosity, a small act that contributed to a larger cycle of abundance. To integrate this divine principle into your financial life, consider creating your own wealth altar, a dedicated space that honors the sacred flow of money. Choose items that resonate with you, perhaps coins symbolizing the fluid nature of wealth, a gratitude jar to capture daily blessings, and a vision board that visually represents your financial dreams. Each of these elements will serve as a tangible reminder that money is not an end in itself, but a channel through which abundance flows. Establish a daily ritual at your wealth altar. Light a candle each day, and as the flame dances, affirm with conviction, "I am a conduit for divine abundance." This simple yet profound ritual transforms your relationship with money. It shifts the focus from fear and hoarding to gratitude and circulation. When you treat your finances as a sacred trust, you invite a deeper, more balanced kind of prosperity into your life. The idea of divine currency challenges conventional notions of wealth. It invites you to view money as a form of energy, an energy that, when channeled with intention and generosity, multiplies rather than diminishes. Ancient traditions remind us that when we give freely, we also open ourselves to receiving. Wealth is not a finite resource. It is an ever-expanding force when nurtured by the spirit of giving and gratitude. Action step: today, create your own wealth altar. Gather symbolic items that represent abundance. Carve out a quiet space in your home and light a candle each day as a reminder that you are an active channel for divine abundance. Let this ritual realign your financial practices with timeless principles of generosity and gratitude. Call to action. Curious how ancient traditions can transform your finances? Subscribe now for more insights on aligning spirituality with wealth, and step into a life where every dollar is a blessing in motion. Section 5. The Shadow Work of Wealth, Confronting Guilt. True transformation requires us not only to celebrate our abundance, but also to confront the shadows that have held us back. Elena, a trailblazing CEO with a record of extraordinary success, was burdened by a hidden guilt surrounding her wealth. Despite her accomplishments, Elena carried an internalized belief that her prosperity was somehow tainted, a legacy of generational poverty that taught her money was both scarce and morally compromising. This belief was a ghost from her past, a narrative that whispered, "Wealth corrupts," and it had long sabotaged her inner peace. Determined to break free from these inherited chains, Elena embarked on a journey into the depths of her own psyche, a process known as shadow work. Rooted in the teachings of Carl Jung, shadow work invites us to explore the darker, unacknowledged parts of ourselves. Through deep introspection and meditation, Elena began to unearth the painful origins of her guilt. She realized that many of her limiting beliefs about money were not her own, but were passed down from ancestors who had known only hardship. This painful legacy had been woven into her subconscious, influencing every decision and self-perception. Elena's breakthrough came when she turned to internal family systems (IFS) therapy, a powerful modality that helps reconcile conflicting inner parts. In her sessions, she identified a fragment of herself she called the exiled child, the vulnerable, wounded part that had absorbed all the negative messages about wealth. By compassionately acknowledging and nurturing this part, Elena began the process of integration. Slowly, she reclaimed the understanding that her self-worth was inherent and not dependent on the external accumulation of money. The journey was neither quick nor easy. It demanded honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to confront painful memories. Yet with each session, the oppressive weight of guilt began to lift. A pivotal component of her healing was the practice of journaling. Elena committed to writing daily, posing two essential questions. What did my ancestors believe about wealth? And when did I first feel unworthy of abundance? With each entry, she peeled back layers of inherited beliefs, revealing insights that allowed her to rewrite her personal narrative. The critical voice in her mind slowly gave way to one of compassion and empowerment, affirming that wealth could indeed be a force for good, a tool to create positive change in the world. Throughout this process, Elena found solace in the gentle wisdom of Christian mystic Julian of Norwich, who once proclaimed, "All shall be well, and all shall be well." This timeless assurance became a mantra in her healing journey, a constant reminder that the universe supports your path to wholeness, and that healing, no matter how arduous, ultimately leads to liberation. Elena's story is a powerful testament to the necessity of confronting our inner shadows. By engaging in this deep work, she transformed the guilt and shame of her past into a foundation of self-acceptance and empowered abundance. Her journey shows us that true wealth is not solely measured by the balance in our bank accounts, but by the light we cultivate within. When we dare to face our inner demons and heal those wounds, we unlock the capacity to use our resources not just for personal gain, but for the greater good. Action step: dedicate time each day to your shadow work. Use these journal prompts. What did my ancestors believe about wealth? And when did I first feel unworthy of abundance? To explore your inner narrative without judgment. Let each word guide you toward reclaiming your inherent worth and dismantling the myths that have held you back. Call to action. Healing is a journey, and you don't have to walk it alone. Subscribe now for our free shadow work guide and join a community that embraces every facet of self. Remember, your lineage is rooting for you, and every step toward healing is a step toward a life of authentic abundance.